In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Felling in Gateshead, an ex-mining community, a community that used to be buzzing and thriving. Now you could say it's the epitome of crumbling Britain. Is Felling the most run-down area in Tyneside? Let's take a look around. Welcome back, it's Eddie here from Tyneside Life. So before we start getting into the juicy bits of Felling and what it looks like today, we can't start this video and talk about Felling without first mentioning the horrific pit disaster of 1812. So for those of you who don't know, Felling used to have a pit, a colliery, about, I don't know, a mile along the road there. I'm in Heworth at the moment. I'm in the graveyard of St Mary's Church in Heworth, just across the road from Heworth Metro. I'll come back to why I'm in a graveyard in just a second. This colliery in Felling, it was opened by Charles Brandlin. Now the Brandlin family were a very important and wealthy family from Newcastle, and it was Charles Brandlin who opened the colliery in 1779. He would then eventually pass the pit on to his two sons, John and William. And it was in 1812. Now, first of all, forgive me if I get the terminology wrong between pits and shafts in the colliery. I'm not from a mining background. But basically, Felling pit had four disasters: 1812, 1813, 1821, and 1847. And it was on the morning of the 25th of May, 1812, where we had the biggest and most serious. And it started off with two loud explosions in the John Pit site, which is an area of wasteland now, which is next to Felling Metro. So two loud explosions, which then carried on to a third explosion to the William Pit, which was about 500 metres away up the bank. As a result of that explosion, 92 men and boys lost their lives. Now, it's not the biggest or most significant pit disaster there has ever been, but for Britain in the mining community, it was actually a turning point. Amongst those 92, there was about 13 of those who were under 12 years old. A 7-year-old boy and an 8-year-old boy lost their lives down the pit. In the aftermath of that, it was the Reverend John Hodgson here at Heworth Parish, the church here, St Mary's, and not only did he give support to all the bereaving families in the area of those men and boys who lost their lives, but he'd had enough. And he set about making some noises in the right places to improve the safety standards of miners over the next 2 or 3 years. And it was that work that was done by, in the main, Reverend John Hodgson that led George Stevenson and Mr. Davy to start inventing a lamp that could help improve the safety of miners. And it was in 1815, John Brandlin, he headed a committee, he chaired a committee that would go on to commission the production of the George Stevenson Geordie lamp that was eventually be used by miners. You could argue that it was this pit disaster in 1812 that indirectly gave birth to the Geordie phrase for a whole community. And I'm in St Mary's graveyard here, next to Heworth Metro, because 91 of the 92 men and boys are currently buried in here. And there's a plaque on the wall just by the main road there. If you get a chance to come down and you're interested in history and that sort of stuff. I'm going to head now west along Sunderland Road and into Felling, which is about 3/4 of a mile away or so. Follow me. So for those of you who are trying to get your bearings as to exactly where St Mary's Church is in Heworth, it's directly behind the Swan pub there. Now I should have mentioned the Brandon family of Newcastle, important and wealthy. They were huge landowners and coal merchants. I forgot to mention that, but we will see the name Brandlin pop up a couple of times in Felling. So I thought as I'm walking along Sunderland Road through Heworth on the way to Felling, I'd just describe a little bit about where Felling is. Now, if you think of Gateshead being separated by the town centre and Durham Road, which was the old A1, you've got the west side of Gateshead, Dunstan, Wickham and Blade and all that, those sorts of areas. And then you've got the east side where you've got the likes of, well, Deckham and Felon and Leam Lane and Heworth and to Wardley, where I live. And the first unused pub now that we'll come to is the Duke of Cumberland. I've never ever been in the Duke of Cumberland. I do know that on the 1st of March this year, police were making inquiries here for whatever reason, and they found a cannabis farm and 250 plants. As a result of that investigation and seizure, a 60-year-old woman was arrested on suspicion of immigration offences. Felon does have a nice park though, just on my left here. We'll have a little look. Well maintained. Quite impressed. There's a bit of a hard standing sports court there. Yeah, great facility. I'm all for these vandal proof sports courts. I'm not sure if they're used by the local kids or not, but it's great that they've got this facility. There we have it, Felon Park. Place to spend some time and something for everyone. What a nice little green area. Yeah, I'm quite impressed. Now Felon did, up until in recent years, have its own fully operational police station here on Sunderland Road. I'm not sure when it was built. It's clearly an old building here. Currently with the scaffolding around it and under renovation. It's probably, I don't know, maybe 12 years or so since it closed down. But in this little section of Sunderland Road, you know, that you can tell it's very old. There's some historical buildings here. Some lovely buildings actually. So I've just crossed the road to have a look, a better look at that building. Was that a pub? Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, yes. The Green Mandolin, I think it was called. What was that like back in the day? And look at that beautiful old building just up there on the left. That looks like it was a pub as well. I tell you what, the passage of time dulls the memory. Let me know what that was. It looks like it was probably a pub. I'll cross back over the road now, because directly opposite we can see an open pub. Well, it's closed at the minute. The Mallard. Never been in before. What's that one like? So I'm currently on the bridge at Felon Metro now. There you can see one just passing. And in the middle of the screen there you can see a brick hut. That's the Brandlin station hut, the old station hut from I think 1842, when this particular railway was very important, because a couple of hundred, well maybe 200 or 300 metres further back is where the John Pitt site was. So it was obviously a very, very busy station back in the day. So this is about as far as I'm going to come along Sunderland Road here. If I turned right down that bank where that green building is, that will take us down to the Old Fold, an estate which is just across the road from Gateshead Stadium. I don't know what's like now, another poor area. And that was, it used to be a really, really rough estate with some real social problems. And just up ahead there, that's Saji's. That's now a very popular Indian restaurant and takeaway. And it used to be a pub, and I can't remember what the name of the pub is. Please let us know. Right, that's enough of Sunderland Road. We're going to head up the bank. It's very steep here in this part of Gateshead. Up the bank into the main part of Felon. You look forward to that. Now, what famous people are from Felon? I read that Chris Waddle, Newcastle United, Spurs, England, Marseille, etc., was from here. Why did I think he was from Springwell Village? I might have just imagined that. Was he from here? And what other famous people are from Felon? Let us know in the comments. So as we continue up the bank here, we'll come to one of Felon's main residential areas. Red Main Court over there. You'll see lots of these 3-4 story blocks of flats, which are built probably in the 1960s. As we head a little bit further in, you can see it's all becoming quite run down. Look at all the Cytex metal shutters. I wouldn't like to be caught out round here, if I'm honest. It looks like complete blocks have been closed down. I'm not sure if any individual flats are still open. Oh, what a sorry state. You know, I don't think I'll be saying to Helen, Howell, let's find a flat in Felling. Don't think she'll be very impressed with us. And I don't mean any disrespect to the thousands of lovely, decent people that live in Felling. Don't get us wrong. But you cannot escape how run down this particular area of Felling is. I wonder what's going to happen with them. There must be some sort of demolition programme in the pipeline for new builds. I don't know. If somebody from the area knows what's going to happen to these flats, or any local councillors watching, just drop us a comment below, let us know. Now this little block of flats caught my eyes. Sir Godfrey Thompson Court. So forgive my ignorance or stupidity, who was Sir Godfrey Thompson? I don't know everything. Again, let us know in the comments below. So now we are on Split Crow Road, the main road that runs through the main part of Felling. It runs parallel to Sunderland Road, about a quarter of a mile down the bank there. Behind me, that's the little estate I've just been through, and behind me there, if you followed Split Crow Road up, just up that little bank, that's where it turns into Deckham, so that's where we are right now. Right, let's venture into the centre of Felling. And from this side, the Deckham side, shall we call it, you're immediately met with the Portland Arms, still alive. Never been in. No idea what it's like. Do you drink in there? Probably one of only 2 or 3 pubs left open. Oh, yeah, all right, how are you doing? Right, what we've got here, we've got Rob's Bar, fish and chip shop, takeaway, Trotter's, pork shop, sandwich shop. It's quite busy in there. Post office on the corner there, it's still shut. Now this place on my left here that we can't quite see, Jubilee House. Now that used to be a bar. It's obviously closed down, that's no shame. We've got a big Asda in the middle of Felling here. I do know, because we do pop in there from time to time to get some supplies. That it's rife for shoplifting. Down and outs just come into Asda there, scoop what they can up in from the shelves into their coats and arms, and just walk out all the time. And there's no police around to stop it. And the local retail managers and staff find it pointless to even try and get the police involved. They just won't investigate shoplifting, but it has just such a damaging and detrimental effect on public confidence and the concept of safety. Bluebell, that's open. Again, I've never been in there. What's it like? I love these old traditional bars though. I'm glad they're still operating, but I don't know how long places like this have got left. Bingo! Hey! I bet you that's been a few places in its time, probably a cinema house. So down this bank, next to the Bluebell, is Felling High Street. Nail bar, vape shops, takeaways. So it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm assuming these places will be open later on. Barber's there. Aye, let us know. Does this place get busy on a weekend? Are these businesses surviving? Well, this is what Felling looks like. So in here, this used to be quick save. Somebody said it, and it looks like it. The place has been set on fire, either through just a mindless act of arson and criminal damage, or it was an insurance job. I don't know. Next to it, this place, Happy Feet Dance. I don't know if that's still open. I think that used to be the job centre. I've just spotted something on the road. It's outside the Bay Horse Inn. Newcastle United pub. Beer Horse Inn. With the lads, Eddie Howe's Black and White Army. Well, I hope Eddie Howe doesn't go off to England. But what I spotted was some horrendous act of graffiti and vandalism. Aye. Look at the size of that, man. It says exactly the same, sprayed in huge white letter in the middle of the road. Sean Stark nonce. What the flipping hell, man. Just brings the... No. Nah. Yeah, I've got a channel called Tyneside Life. Tyneside Life on YouTube. Tyneside Life. Right, check it out. I mean, whatever grievances you've got against individuals in the community, man, it just you just bring down the whole area. So back onto Split Crow Road here, just across the road from Asda. It's a huge block of flats. Just then, just in front of the flats, there's a closed down pub called the Greyhound, or the New Greyhound. Crow Hall Towers, that is, that block. Right next to the Felon Community Centre, which is nestled on the ground floor there. That blue doorway is the community centre. But another pub that's died a death. Well, I've been in this one, I wonder what it was like back in the day. One of the things that gives me faith in humanity or volunteer charity organisations that work in local communities to help and support anybody, but especially those who are old or vulnerable in some way. And in Felon we have one here run by an organisation called Food Cycle.
Hello, my name's Sadie. I'm the Project Support Officer for Food Cycle North East. Food Cycle is a national charity with the aim of sort of reducing food waste, food poverty and loneliness amongst communities. We do this by running community meals in various areas across the country. In the North East, we currently have 9 projects that we're running, soon to be 10. We couldn't do any of these community meals without our amazing volunteers. By creating welcoming spaces where people can chat and feel comfortable, eat, meet new people. It's a really lovely way to sort of have a free community meal. So at this project, we have 2 teams. So we have a cooking team and a hosting team. The surplus food will be delivered and the cooking team arrive first. They'll sort of assess what we have. It's a bit like Ready, Steady, Cook in a way. They never know what they're getting. They sort of have to make 3 courses up from what they have. Some of the meals are unbelievable, what they come up with. And then the hosting team will arrive and set the room ready for the guests. They'll be welcomed, seated, offered a drink, and then we'll start serving the meal. Usually starts with a lovely bowl of soup, followed by a nice hot main course and a delicious dessert. So it's usually a lot of crowd pleasers. If you would love to come and have a free meal at Felon Community Centre, please do. It's on every Friday from 12:30 p.m.
So there you go, that's Felon, the good, the bad and the ugly, but I think it's good to end off on a positive note, I think. And it's really a fascinating place, Felon, and it's absolutely crucial actually to the heritage and the history of the whole of the Tyneside area in relation to its mining past and that pit disaster of 1812. But clearly the area now is very run down. Visibly you can see the flats which are boarded up, the graffiti, the damage, the crime, the disorder, the antisocial behaviour. It can feel a little bit like an intimidating place, and I bet it is at times on a night time round here. But I'm sure as well, you know, there'll be thousands of decent, hard-working, kind people and proud people that live around here, proud of Felon. Let us know if you're from here. Let me know what you think. You know, what's it like living around here behind the curtain? What pubs used to be here that don't exist anymore? If you're not from here, I've never been here before, what do you think of Felon? Is it better than you thought? Is it worse than you thought? I'll be interested to hear your views. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you would like to learn more about the Tyneside area, why don't you check this video out. See you later.